Hi everyone! In this week's video we will share with you examples of what people might think is professional and it is simply not.
If you want to learn about 4 mistakes that you may be making while thinking you're a professional, please continue watching.
Mistake number 1.
Being serious equals being professional. Some people sadly think that being serious all the time and having a really straight face on is what professionalism is all about. This is completely not true. And probably for the most of the part, it will only get you a PR of someone who may be really good at their job, but at the same time may not be very enjoyable to work with.
Basically, people will think you are dull. So I think the key to success here is to be able to adjust your communication to the topic that is being discussed or worked on. So for example, if there is a serious financial issue that you are discussing with the client, then the straight face is definitely something you should be putting on, because this is about money, this is about topics that are not basically to be laughed at or to basically be treated carelessly. But if you're having like a briefing with a client, or you're having some workshops or working with people from your team, then definitely you should be the person who has the good energy and the smile on their face, and basically you are seen as professional, as person who is eager and person who understands how to tune in the specific situation.
Mistake number 2.
Stating the obvious in an inappropriate way.
So this is a funny one. Imagine for a moment you are a client and you are working on a project with your agency, and just something has gone terribly wrong, and it may not be a mistake of a client, or it may be like a power cut and you just need to deliver something and things happen, and a client is being really pushy and they might not be even pleasant to talk to, and you're just trying to moderate and feed them information. And because they are pushy and maybe there is a lot of media, maybe there is a commercial that needs to go on air and they would be losing hundreds of thousands of pounds in media. Obviously it's important to them, and even though you understand that, having them keep on asking you this every 5 minutes obviously can set people off. Now, how do you go about that? It is completely not okay to say to the client that this is just life, like these situations happen in life. Like, this cannot be more wrong. Do not ever say that. If you want to, if you are feeling that you're being frustrated or irritated and someone is always on your back, make sure that you always explain to them what's going on, where are you currently with that, and what are the next steps. And if they keep on coming back to you, just always repeat that thing over and over again. No advice in terms of how long is the piece of string, or this is just, this is what happens in life. You could not be more wrong, and it's majorly inappropriate and not professional.
Mistake number 3.
Having "I will show you" attitude. Do you remember those moments when someone makes you really angry at work, and they may be blaming you for something you haven't done, or make you feel like you've done something wrong where in fact it was actually their fault, and you are just about started writing that email which will be like, I will show them that they are wrong and I'm right, and I have all this evidence and I'm going to show them.
So my advice would be to not let ego drive your decisions and drive your action, because I think we live in a very ego-driven environment and everybody wants to have it their way, they are stubborn, and I think it's about finding a solution that works for both parties. So I think the important point to highlight is that the way you treat others is not the reflection of them, but the reflection of you. So whenever you have those situations, so if you would send that email full of all of the negative energy, it's not going to solve the situation, it's going to even make it even worse, because people will want to get back at you again, so it's like constant war. So I think that the point is to rise above it and basically reply in a very professional manner, which is not full of emotions, especially not of the negative emotions, which I know is really hard to do, because the first thing is somebody has attacked me, I want to attack back, it's like our nature. But I think the point is that to focus that the solution is that at the end you will need to work on it together. You need to find a solution that is good for the client, and this is what's going to help the relationship you have with this person and the relationship that you're going to have with the client. So having the attitude is going to cause you more trouble than to fix what has already been done in the wrong way.
And always remember, just to add on that there is enough of negative, nasty people in the world that want to make you feel like you're stupid. They're trying to make you feel like you don't matter, you're insignificant, and why would you want to be one of them? You know, and maybe the way the person is communicating is that because they don't know any different. So be the person that shows them that there is a different way how to communicate certain things.
And I think if somebody is rude to you and you're not being rude back, this is showing this person that you are way above this, and basically it will make them realize that they are actually making a mistake and that they should actually change it. So I think it's the easiest way to influence someone is by giving them kindness in return.
Exactly. And also, like, if you are pointing out and you are still trying to point out any mistakes, what I sometimes do, I try to make them look as little bad as possible. That's also important, and you may even figure out that this can have a transformational effect on your relationships. Mistake number 4.
Sending smiley faces in your emails. So I realize this is quite a controversial topic because of how the communication is shaped these days and how the emojis and smiley faces became inherent part of the communication. But I think this is important to highlight that at work, if you are addressing people who are at quite a senior level at the organization, or you're addressing your clients, I think you shouldn't initiate the use of emojis or smiley faces in your emails first, because you should set the tone to the person who you are addressing. So if you send a very important email about, I don't know, budgeting or about something that is very important, I would avoid using smiley faces at all times, because I think it's very inappropriate, because you should focus on the facts and what you are trying to pull through. If you are trying to build a relation with a client or with a person and it's not about straight facts or something that is extremely single point focused, then I think it's fine to use the smiley faces, but only if the person who you are addressing is doing it first. And then you basically know that they are fine with that and you're adjusting to their tone. And I think it's also important not to overdo it, because sometimes I get those emails and I get a smiley face at the end of each sentence. And I get that somebody is trying to show me that they are, friendly, and that basically, they are very positive. Look, I get it, but I think, doing it too much, it's also basically showing that something is not right here. Yeah, so I would maybe try to use it at the very end of the email, or after you make a sentence about some good news, then it's fine. But please do not overdo it, and please do not send emails with smiley faces to the CEOs or
heads of department
in this world, because I don't think it's going to work in your favor.
And I think it's also just simply because we're trying to show the verbal side of communication in an email, where we're not able to express. Obviously it's a written communication, we are not able to smile. And however, written communication needs to be positive, needs to reflect what you want to say. So if you have doubts that your email may not come across positive, rewrite it. And if you feel like it's not conveying the message again, rewrite and rewrite until you're happy with that.
Because I think if you focus on getting the tone right and using positive words, you don't need the smiley faces as much. And I think, especially when I think now about some people, for example, that I work with, they send an email which has completely wrong tone, on the sentence has a very negative meaning, which they don't realize because they are not the native speakers, and they think that when they put the smiley face at the end, it's gonna do the trick. But the problem is, if the sentence has a negative feel about it, and then you add the smiley face, then the recipient might think it's sarcastic. So I think it's adding more danger to the situation.
Or you're just being simply rude, and they will think that you're a jackass. And that's genuinely what people think.
Yes, so basically work on the tone, not on the smiley faces, and you're good to go.
We hope you did find this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.
And we would also like to encourage you to share the examples of unprofessional behavior that you have actually experienced at work, so that we can have a very nice discussion in the comments section below.
That's it for now, and we shall see you in the next week's video.
Bye.
Bye.